Well, you've recently been informed that you've been a part of a mass layoff, and as a result, you've been offered a severance agreement. Well, you signed that severance agreement, well, that's up to you. Because in today's post, you'll be provided with the 6 keys that you should consider in order to determine whether or not you actually want to sign that severance agreement. Welcome to the employment space. This channel is designed to provide you a 360-degree view of the employment relationship directly from an employment attorney. Let's get into today's content. Number 1, is your employer required to give you severance pay upon the termination that's due to a mass layoff? And the short answer is no. There is no federal law, state law, city ordinance, or county requirement for an employer to give any departing employees, even under a mass layoff, a severance agreement. Number 2, and this is probably one of the most very important keys you need to hear today, make sure that you thoroughly review your agreement at least 3 or 4 times. When you initially receive the news of you becoming a part of a mass layoff and that your employment is ending, your emotions are going to be all over the place. So when you review your agreement the first time, you may not pick up some details, or it's easier to misunderstand the terms of the agreement. So that's why I always recommend for employees to take some time out to cool down and to review the agreements at least 3 or 4 times to make sure that you understand the terms. Number 3, what if you decide after reviewing the agreement that you don't want to sign? Well, typically what happens is there's some language in the agreement that will let you know that. It may mention that if you choose not to sign, that you will still receive your base compensation up until the date of termination. And if your company offers some sort of PTO vacation time, then any unused and accrued PTO, for example, will also be paid out to you. So just make sure that in your review of the agreement to kind of look for that type of language. You can always contact your HR professional to confirm. Number 4, does your age play a part in your severance agreement? And the answer is yes. Now, not in a discriminatory way, but rather in a legally compliant way. If you are a departing employee that is at least 39 years of age and younger, that's typically what you may see in your agreement, and you'll have to review yours thoroughly to see what it says. But what I've seen in my experience is that employees who are 39 years of age and younger will get like a 7-day consideration period, regardless of how many people are being laid off. And that consideration period is exactly what you think it sounds like. It's a time to think about what you want to sign, to review the terms, to talk to your attorney, to talk to your CPA, to determine what you want to do with the agreement, okay? You are not going to get a revocation period. Sometimes you'll see that, sometimes you won't, but a U.S. employer is not required to give employees who are 39 years of age and younger a revocation period. Now, for departing employees who are at least 40 years of age and older, pursuant to the Older Workers Benefits Protection Act, what I have seen in my experience is employees of that age, they will receive 2 periods. They will receive either a 21-day or a 45-day consideration period, depending on how many people are laid off. And in that consideration period, you too get a time to mull it over, read the terms, talk to your family, talk to your CPA, talk to your attorney to decide, to consider whether you're going to sign. The moment you sign and return it to your employer, you lose the balance of that time, that consideration period, and you automatically trigger your revocation period. Now, typically the revocation period is 7 days. You will have to exhaust all of the 7 days once you've signed and returned it back to your employer before that agreement becomes alive. And on the 8th day it will, and then your employer will then start processing your severance benefits. Number 5, when and where can you apply for unemployment benefits? Well, the when is going to determine whether or not you sign your severance agreement. If you don't sign your severance agreement, then you can apply for unemployment benefits immediately after being terminated from your former employment, right? If you decide to sign the severance agreement, then a part of the Department of Labor process you'll be required to divulge or disclose if you are receiving severance benefits. And based on that federal agency's process, more likely than not, the Department of Labor is going to wait for you to receive all money, all severance payments from your employer before the agency will approve payment of any unemployment benefits to you. Where do you file for unemployment benefits? It's going to be based on where you reside. So the city and the county or where you reside, that's going to be the Department of Labor office where you will apply. Number 6, does your severance agreement hinder payment from your unemployment benefits? And yes, it does. If you sign your agreement, just like I just mentioned a bit under number 5, if you decide to sign your severance agreement, then the Department of Labor cannot make any payments to you for unemployment benefits until you have fully exhausted or received all payments, severance payments from your former employer. But again, if you don't sign your severance agreement, then there is no severance agreement that will have an impact or prevent payment from you, immediate meaning based on the Department of Labor's payout schedule of any unemployment benefits made to you. Hey everyone, I'm going to stop here. Hope this was helpful. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope this was very helpful to you. I hope all goes well with everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm clocking out.